Hey everyone, welcome to the HeyHannah podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Maya Fields, but to my friends and those who know me well, I'm just Maya. I'm a higher education administrator, a mother, and a wife of 14 amazing years. But above all, I'm a Christ follower. This podcast is a special platform created to honor the memory of my beloved daughter, Hannah. It's here that I have the chance to have the conversations that I never got to have with her, to share the wisdom and love I wish I could have passed on. It's a reminder to cherish the precious moments we're given and a testament to the power of healing, hope, and personal growth. If you're someone who's seeking personal growth, inspiration, and practical advice to build a solid foundation for a successful and fulfilling life, this is a place for you. Join me as we honor Hannah's memory together. Laugh, cry, and learn. Get ready for a podcast that is so much more than you could ever imagine. The HeyHannah podcast, healing hearts, one conversation at a time. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the HeyHannah podcast, where we're here to inspire and empower you as parents, guided by faith. And as we explore the beautiful journey of family life this evening, we are going to dive deeper into the importance of spending quality time together as a family and how it can strengthen your family bond. So we're going to talk a little bit about some specific activities you can do. We're going to provide some practical tips, and we're also going to share some resources for different age groups. And we'll also explore the incredible benefits of this precious investment in your family's future. So just jumping in a bit to talk about, the value of quality family time. When you're looking at it from the perspective of a parent, research shows that families who regularly spend time together, quality time together, tend to have better communication, stronger emotional bonds, and the children in those families are typically more resilient. Part of that is dealing with the fact that children who spend time or have strong family units, they have a strong sense of identity. They know who they are. They have improved mental health, higher academic achievements, reduced risk of behavioral problems. You get the gist. There's a ton of benefits to spending time with your children and just spending time with your family as a whole. On the other end of the spectrum, spending time with your family unit outside of children also provides for just stronger communication and a stronger sense of belonging in your family. But the thing is, if you want to build those strong relationships, it's in that time that we really have to kind of hunker down and commit the time necessary to spend time with the people that we want to grow those relationships with. I know sometimes it can be really hard with, the hustle and bustle of everything between work and all the other competing activities. It's like we're all always booked up. But we do want to make sure that we're intentional with spending time with our loved ones because, of course, we just talked about the many benefits of that. So I want to break down a few different activities that you can do with your children, just different age groups. Some things that'll kind of get you all working together and spending some time together. And it's not, hard to do. So if you have toddlers or young kids, arts and crafts is something that you can do. My youngest son loves to color, so we keep a box of crayons handy and some coloring books. But, create arts and crafts together. If you are a little bit more brave, you can give your children some paint. You can do some drawing and some crafting together. What I typically do and what I did a lot this summer is I would go to Dollar Tree. And they have the tablecloths, like the dollar tablecloths typically that you use for a party. I get one of those, spread it out. They have like some different arts and crafts kits. They're very small, but they have like painting kits and different things. I get some of those kits, get a tablecloth, go ahead and lay that out, do the activity, whatever it is, whether it's painting or drawing or crafting, whatever, we're doing for that particular day. When we're done, we just rolled that bad boy on up and threw it away. It was $1. So we weren't worried about, tearing it up. But it was an easy way that we could get down, have fun together, and not necessarily be distracted by a huge mess, of something that we had to clean up afterwards. Another thing that you can do is think about doing like story time with your kids. Read age appropriate books and discuss the books. There's so many benefits to just reading with your children, period. When we talk about phonics, comprehension, and then their ability to go on and pick up on reading and things later, there's several connections to reading to your children in, their language skills as well, just how that all kind of plays a part with each other. So reading age appropriate books is very helpful, and then discuss the stories. Discussion time with the books that you read is a great way to point out some examples or some, family values. This is a great time to emphasize that. Maybe the lead character in the story that you're reading does some things that kind of go against what you have identified as a family value for you all. That would be a great way to just, discuss that, call it out, bring it to your child's attention, and maybe you all can talk through some scenarios together that ultimately help with their growth and development. Another thing that we love to do is baking. Having fun in the kitchen, making cookies, simple treats, pretty easy to do. One of our favorites is peanut butter cookies. You only need like 3 things: peanut butter, eggs, and sugar. And that's probably one of the simpler ones, but there's a lot of other recipes that you can do. But baking is a fun activity. The cool thing about baking, which I tell people a lot of times, and they say, well, I can't bake. For the most part, baking is about following directions. So maybe you want to have a little exercise in direction following for your children. Baking may be one of the things that you want to incorporate when you're talking about spending family time. If you have kids that are a bit older, like elementary school kids, nature walks, exploring just like different parks. If you're an outdoorsy type person, take a look at the different parks outside, or just the areas outside. Right now, obviously, it's fall, so all the leaves are changing colors, and you see the different beautiful oranges and browns and all the leaves on the ground. Sometimes we really don't take a chance to, or slow down enough to really see the beauty in nature that's all around us. But that's something that you can do with your children. Do like a nature walk and look at the beauty that just surrounds us. It's like when I see the different colors that are changing with fall, it just always makes me think like God is absolutely the most beautiful artist of them all. And we have some beauty in nature that we just are able to take a look at and wonder at every day. Another thing is family game nights. Play some board games together, card games together. Pull out some Uno cards, get some family favorites. So that's another way you can get some laughs, have some fun, work on following directions, incorporating a little, counting and math when you get to some of those card games, and just kind of sneak in some learning as you go. I also highly recommend family devotionals. If you can find some good devotionals, definitely recommend that you grab some of those. A lot of devotionals, especially family ones, are very quick and easy to do. Like you can do them at the dinner table right before you eat dinner, right before bedtime. Typically, you're reading a scripture, reading some sort of passage that goes along with it about a topic, and then you have the opportunity to discuss and share different viewpoints. Now, aside from the devotionals, if you have kids that are a little bit older, maybe you want to get into movie nights, cooking meals, planning family adventures, and then, of course, there are youth-led devotionals where you can let the older children in your family really take on that sense of responsibility and leadership, and incorporating those family activities into you all's daily and weekly routines. Now, there are several local and national resources that I want to make sure that you're aware of and that you're able to take advantage of those, because a lot of times we forget about the resources that are right there in our communities. So there are a lot of local family centers and local community organizations, especially ones that are family oriented. I know YMCA offers several family activities. So there's family cooking nights, there's arts and crafts nights, there's also kids night in. Typically, I think it's like kids 5 and up, where you can drop them off for, I want to say like 4 or 5 hours. They do some activities and you can get out if you need to and take care of some errands. So that's another thing that they offer. And just as a FYI, your local YMCA does typically offer sitter services if you ever need drop-in care at all. But it's just another avenue. So you can spend some time with your significant other and make sure that you are strengthening that relationship as well. And not all the quality time or the activities that you do have to cost money. So think about that too. There are a lot of resources at your local library. I know our local library offers STEM classes. They offer keyboarding classes, just classes on just about everything from every end of the spectrum, from book clubs to sign language. They just have a lot of offerings. So make sure that you're taking a look at your local library. I think one of them that I noticed over the summer that was kind of fun was a family ukulele class. It's a way that obviously you can jump in and probably try a new activity, and it's not costing you anything, and it's a way that you all can get together. The atmosphere is already set. And you can just jump in and learn something fun together. Um, Parks and community centers typically have a lot of free and low cost events as well. So make sure that you're checking out like your city websites and your city parks and rec, because they have a lot of activities that are typically going on and well planned for families and groups to get together and grow together. Um, One other thing that I like to recommend is family photo albums. I love taking pictures. So a good photo album is right up my alley. So, that's something else that you can do as a family. And I know sometimes it's like, oh, I'm going to get to the photo album. I'm going to get to the photo album. But if you set aside the time, you do it as a family. It's a family activity. You're having fun. You're looking over the photos. And then later on down the line, when you want to spend time together again, or just when you think back on some fun times, you'll be so thankful that you took the time to not only spend the time together putting the photo album together as a unit, but that you also have the memories all in one place to reflect back on. Because, anytime we get a chance to do that, it's always, fun, and it's always a blessing. I would also strongly encourage you to make sure that you are spending the necessary time. We're having the activities and we're spending time together, but nothing replaces the benefit of that strong, consistent communication to really help build and strengthen those relationships. If you don't know what to say, if you feel like, oh, I don't really know where to start just to kind of strengthen that relationship or carry on a conversation with my child, I just want to give you a few conversation starters, or just a few questions that you can ask. Keep these in your back pocket. Maybe you can ask, what's something you like to learn from me? That's just a way to open the door. They can talk to you about, guidance on specific topics or whatever it is. But it's a good question to ask. And it's a way to get a conversation going. Maybe you can ask them something like, what's something that you're proud of? I know for my oldest son, he's in Taekwondo, and he has been working really, really hard at earning the next belt. So he had an opportunity recently, after doing a lot of work, to test for his next level belt. And man, when he got that belt, you saw it looked like 372 teeth in his mouth, because that's how many he was showing. He was just beaming with pride. And between the time of him taking the test, and the time of us, waiting to see if he actually got the belt, and the time of him getting the belt, he continued to remind us about his excitement about the belt. Like, oh, I got to test for a belt. I might get this new belt. You can definitely tell that it was something that he was proud of. So we wanted to make sure that obviously we were participating in that conversation with him, because that was a big achievement. As his family, obviously we want to come in and support him, acknowledge his hard work, encourage him, and be there to give him that, high five and cheer him on, because he was definitely proud of himself. So that's something you can ask your kid, like, what's something you're proud of? Aside from your kid, you can ask that to your spouse, your friend, whoever it is you're trying to build a strong relationship with. It's good to know something that they're proud of. Typically, when you're proud of something, it's something that you are doing some hard work with. It's an achievement for you. And it's good to be acknowledged when your hard work and achievements are paying off. So that's another good question to ask. You can also ask, I've heard before, like asking at the dinner table, what's the peak and the pit of your day, or share your highs and your lows. I like this one especially because, we can typically think of like, oh, some good things that happened during the day, and we're quick to share those. But a lot of times we just kind of gloss past like maybe the lows or the things that maybe hurt our feelings, or we just consider them small things, so we kind of brush them under the rug. But I like when we ask this question, share the highs and the lows, or the peaks and the pits, because it helps us also, and it helps whoever you're talking to, especially children, it helps them express their emotions. It's fine to have emotions, and we want to make sure that we are encouraging environments where they can talk about those emotions. If their feelings were hurt, whether it's big or small, we want to validate that. It's fine to have your feelings hurt for whatever reason. It's fine that you were, a little sad about something. It's good to talk about that different range of emotions, and opening those conversations really gives them an opportunity to discuss those and feel validated and feel heard, and obviously strengthen the relationship and the security they have in their family unit. One last thing I'll say, maybe you can ask also, what made you smile today? This is just encouraging them to share something that brought them joy or made them laugh. My littles are, again, very little, so everything makes them laugh right now. Some of the things that I don't necessarily think are funny, but I enjoy seeing their joy and their laughter, and seeing them have a good time. But ask, what made you smile today? And just learn a little bit about some things that bring them joy. And maybe that can help lead you into the direction of some other activities that you all can do together to really strengthen those relationships in the future. What I want to do is encourage you to visit www.budget-friendly family activities on our website. I'll also offer a free downloadable guide of some conversation starters. Again, it's not just for young children, high school age children. It's really for anyone that you are looking to build those strong relationships with. So I do want to encourage you again to visit the website www.heyhannahpodcast.com, and make sure that you're taking advantage of those free downloadable guides. Remember, the time that you invest in your family is an investment in the future. It's not about the quantity, but we want to make sure that we're spending a quality amount of time together. Cherish those moments, celebrate small victories, and create a loving and supporting family environment. Your faith can be a guiding light on this journey for not only you, but for your family. So this week, I want you to commit to spending more quality time with your family. Share your family time experiences on social media and tag us at Hey Hannah Podcast. Also, visit our website to download your free guides on the family activities and the conversation starters. Lastly, subscribe, rate, and review the Hey Hannah podcast to help us reach more families in need of encouragement and inspiration. Thank you for joining us today on the Hey Hannah podcast. We hope you're inspired to create lasting memories with your family. Tune in next time for more parenting insight, more growing tips, and ultimately more encouragement. Until next time, take care.
And that's it. I'm out of here.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Hey Hannah podcast. We hope that you found inspiration, insight, and encouragement in our conversation today. If you enjoyed this episode and want to stay connected with us, be sure to like, subscribe, and review the Hey Hannah podcast. Your feedback helps us reach more people and spread our message of love and wisdom. You can also follow us on social media at Hey Hannah Podcast. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to stay updated on all the latest episodes, behind the scenes exclusives, and engaging content. And for those of you who prefer the visual experience, catch the video versions of our podcast on our YouTube channel. Just search Hey Hannah Podcast and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. For even more Hey Hannah goodness, visit our website at www.heyhannahpodcast.com. There you'll find updates, bonus content, and join a community that embraces you with open arms. Your continued support truly means the world to us. Together, let's spread love, share wisdom, and honor every precious moment. Because here at Hey Hannah, we believe that life is meant to be lived well. Remember, a new episode of the Hey Hannah podcast is released every Wednesday, so mark your calendars and be sure to tune in. Thank you again for being the part of Hannah's Hive. Until next time, take care.
Entertainment. Entertainment.